catch the rat. Oh no!
Squeak, and welcome back to Rat Reacts. We're going to talk more about Taskmaster today, but not the second episode yet. You can see that right now on Ratreon. That's ratreon.com/ratofalltrades. But here on YouTube, we're going to have our episodes 1 week later. But today, we're talking about a recap of the first episode, because I had some challenges in that. Challenge number 1 was copyright. You saw what I had to do to the video to actually get it through to YouTube. Again, you can see the whole crisp thing on Ratreon, so get on that. Get on that, folks. The second challenge was I made a reaction video, and it didn't have too many reactions in it. Because I thought of a lot of stuff while watching the episode, and I wanted to say it at the end, but I forgot a lot of stuff by the end. So, that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to give you way more reaction than you'll ever need. By the way, I have seen the episode several times now as I've edited the video footage, but pretty much everything I'm about to say is something that I thought of originally during my first watch through of episode 1. So here we go. First thing, in the intro to the episode, Greg says, quote, "Gut instinct and on-the-set gossip tell me that 3 of the 5 will be eye-wateringly bad at this." I am surprised he said something like that, because I don't think I've heard him say something 3 seconds into a series before. So I think he's serious. I'm thinking he actually heard that. And I want to figure out who those 3 are. It's not obvious yet. The problem with that is there's 5 tasks every episode, and only the live tasks have been filmed at this point, which means that those 3 might actually do well at prize tasks and live tasks, which means they might actually do well in this series. So I'm going to have to look at just the recorded tasks and see if we can figure that out. But I don't think he would say that just on a whim. I don't think that's a bit he's doing. I mean, it is a bit, but I think it's a serious bit. I did talk about that a little bit during the watch through, where we'll have to look out for that. But prize task. I have heard Lucy's ghost story before. Now, I haven't heard Lucy do anything before, but I've heard the actual story itself. I can't remember where, but somebody said, oh, they felt something in their bed, crawling into their bed after their dog died. But in this case, I think it only happened once, and it turned out it was a raccoon that had snuck in. That's what I remember of it. But it was basically the exact same as like someone was in bed, they felt something, they didn't want to look for it, they just let it be there and said, oh, it must be my dead dog. So that's interesting. The other prize task bit that I want to mention is I could not see everything great. And that's going to be a reoccurring theme here, is I don't have great eyesight. So I wish I had gotten a better look at Pinocchio, at Sam's Pinocchio. By the way, I'm a shapeshifter, just throwing that out there. But so I got to watch it later with human eyes, and I appreciated it a little more. I think I graded it up really high, like 4 or 5 anyway. But besides that, that's it for the prize task. On to the cans. It was great and evil. And it featured, on the high and low ends, Sam, Canbell, and Super Cans. The task says to build a tower, which I would take to mean you have to physically do something instead of destroying what was already there and counting what's left. But Alex specifically says, I think it's to Lucy, that, yeah, she made it. She made it by knocking it down. So made is not the same as build, but that's how Alex wants to interpret the task, and he's the one who wrote it. So that's something I was thinking about, but I will let it slide because that's what Alex is doing. I also noticed Sue said the phrase, "in my mind's eye," when she was blindfolded at the very end and thinking she was talking to Alex. And it just struck me that the only 2 people I've ever heard say that phrase are Sue Perkins and Mel Gedroych. Mel, when she was talking about felling the rubber ducks. But sorry, that was just funny because that's the only time I've heard that phrase. Is that a British thing? Or just something that I've not heard because I've spent my life under the ground in the sewers? Could be that. Now, the team task. I said when I was watching that, I didn't see the second part coming, but that was just a lie to be entertaining. Of course I knew. I'm a genius. I'm a very smart rat. Of course I saw it coming, okay? But sometimes I still want to actually do the task the way it's meant to be, so I was thinking, how would I do it? And I think I would do it the same way the Sues did. Might be a little easier for me because I have an extra limb, but I do it the same way. As for scoring, in the beginning of Taskmaster, Alex was trying to get Greg to always do scores that added up to 5. So 1 and 4, or 2 and 3, or 0 and 5. Which is basically what I'm doing, but I think that's weird because there's always a difference of either 1, 3, or 5. So I'm just changing it so it can equal 5 or 6. And that way there could be a difference of 0, 2, or 4 also, or 6. Then there's the location task. And I wasn't very impressed with that location, although I've only seen a small bit of it so far. I mean, compare it to an airport or the airplane hangar in Series 11, or like the train station or something. Like it doesn't feel great. I also wonder, they're doing 2 Taskmaster series a year right now. So it looks like they're filming one of them in the summer and one of them in the winter. And usually in the winter, I've noticed, they're actually doing indoor things. Or at least, I think that's what winter looks like in London. Not nearly enough snow as there would be here. But it does look super dreary, and I would not want to do tasks there. I would prefer the summer, even though it's so hot. I would prefer the summer. But you can tell, Series 16, 14, 12, and 10, they all look more dreary than 11, 13, and 15, if you look at all the outside tasks. As for this task itself, I don't have much to say about it. I would have done it the same way that Sue did by moving stuff, and then tried to grab it like Susan did, so I probably would have been in the middle of the pack. Frustratingly enough, would have taken up quite a bit of time, and I wouldn't have been first, but still, hopefully a decent showing, and I definitely would not touch the beak. Then we're at the live task. I ended up liking that one more than I thought I would. Like the team tasks, I don't like how those are scored a lot of the time, especially something like this where somebody doesn't get anything but still gets points, or somebody wins 1 but then gets 5 points. I would prefer if there were a strike system or something. Just talking about what I think of the contestants. As I've mentioned, everything I know about the contestants, basically, I've known from listening to the podcasts. So, for Julian, I was under the impression that everyone thought it was amazing that he got chosen for this. Like, he was somebody who wouldn't normally be given this role. So I thought he was like something weird, like a news presenter or something. But clearly not. Hard to say exactly what he was doing, but I've gotten a little more information now about what his interests are in particular fields. So he'll be interesting to watch. He is very reserved. And you know what? Compared to there was the Series 16 trailer showing the 5 of them on that scrubber car thing. And from what I saw of Julian there, he does seem to be fitting the image I had in my mind of those 2 seconds of him that I've seen so far. So there's that. Lucy, I know, is married to John Richardson, but that's the only thing I know about her. Or the only thing I knew about her. Now I know she's crazy. Hooray, she's going to be awesome for Taskmaster in terms of entertainment value. So we'll keep an eye on her. She is the one person that I am sure is one of the eye-wateringly bad contestants. She is the only one I'm positive about. Sam is a lot more reserved than I thought, and that's based entirely on that series promo again, where he was saying, "What the hell? That was good." I thought he was going to be like really loud and angry, and he definitely isn't. So this was a pleasant surprise. I'm really liking Sam. Him and Sue are my favorites so far. I know Sue was in a duo with Mel Gedroich, but I've never seen that, or I've never seen anything Sue's in. So that's all I know. I know she has a connection. But I like the way she thinks, and I think she was really unlucky this episode. Really unlucky with the cans, and she got the chain in her boot. I think she could be one of the ones who's not eye-wateringly bad at the task, but her first episode score did not really show that. Lastly, Susan Wacoma. From the promo, I definitely had my eye on her with her "you can't stop me" thing. So I can't wait for that moment. She wasn't really grabbing my interest in this episode, but there were some good moments, like the time she in the can task where she looks back into the room with her mouth agape. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of her. I'd say the last three there, the three S's, I'm really excited to see more of. Julian and Lucy, I'm a little unsure of still, but they both had good moments already, so I'm sure more will be coming. But they're not my favorites yet. Well, that was a long monologue, but now we're ready for episode 2, which you can watch right now on Ratreon, or you can wait here for another week and get a really obscured video in the corner. And it's not even going to be the full reaction anyway. But hey, that's up to you, okay? Be sure to stay tuned so you can catch this rat later. I'll squeak you next time.